Welcome to the UMASS Dynasty as we are set to start the 2025 season as the UMass Minutemen take on the Temple Owls here in Week 1. And this is an exciting time for the UMass program as first-year head coach Donovan Hedgecock is set to coach his first game leading the Minutemen program. He's here to turn around this program and end the 20 years of misery that this team has suffered. And here we're going to see the first action of his head coaching career, and we're going to see if he's able to actually get this UMass program on top of its feet. And we're going to start out here with the opening kickoff as the Temple Owls are kicking it off to the UMass as they're going to be getting the ball offensively first, and that's going to result in a touchback. As we see here, the starting quarterback for the UMass Minutemen is going to be Grant Jordan, the senior. He's going to be taking over as we're going to be redshirting the true freshman as he's going to be his backup. And we're going to start it out here on the 25, 1st and 10, as Jordan sends the tight end in motion. And he's going to be making a couple audibles as they're in this trips to the left set with the tight end. And they're going to just get a simple inside zone up the middle for a decent little 5 yards. I know Coach Hedgecock definitely wants to come out and he wants to establish the run early, as that's what they're looking to do as they get another 2 yards here. A big 3rd and 3 here to try to convert to keep this opening drive going. At the start of a new season, you never pretty much want to get a 3 and out, as he's going to connect with one of his younger receivers across the middle on that drag route for a big gain of 21 yards. Moving on here to the next 1st and 10, and he's going to just get a quick check down to the flats to his running back. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on that one, resulting in a 2nd and 6. And here we go with another motion to this tight end. You can only guess that's probably going to be that inside zone again, as it is, but he's able to bounce it off the tackle and get it to a simple 3rd and 1 here look. And this is the look of Coach Hedgecock as we got the power eye coming in with an unbalanced look as they're looking to pretty much establish this run, and they're going to gain that first round off of that power eye look. And here, come back up, Jordan's making adjustments. Another 1st and 10, trying to take it easy as he has a receiver deep, but he's going to be hit as he throws. That would have been a huge play for the Minutemen to go ahead and get a quick touchdown on the board. Another quick run up the middle, establishing it, and that's going to be a good trap play as they're going to get about 8, and they're coming out in some old school stuff. First the power out, now the wishbone as they go to more of a double lead look here up the middle, and he's going to cut it up tight and be able to fight very difficultly for an extra 2 yards to be able to get that first down and keep this impressive opening drive moving for the UMass Minutemen here as he's making a couple more adjustments here at the line of scrimmage for this 1st and 10. You don't want to risk anything, and he's going to pretty much hold on to it and get a nice coverage sack, as he's going to need to be able to get rid of that as the senior just holds on to the ball too long, and it's going to make it a lot more difficult as it's going to be 2nd and 17 here as he's snapping this ball. And he's going to force it, and it's going to be intercepted by the Temple Owls, and it looks like that he could be going, and unless someone's going to be able to catch up for him, it might be a pick 6, and it looks like the receivers are going to catch up, and this is going to give Temple great field position starting out on their first offensive possession on the 5-yard line on a 1st and goal. As they come in, they're sending the tight end in motion, similar to the UMass, and they're just going to go straight up the middle, and there's not going to be much room for him as he's going to lose a yard on that one. And as we come in here, 2nd and goal on the 6, they're going to run it right up the middle again, and both the linebackers didn't shoot the right gap for UMass as we see the improvement that needs to be in place. And it's going to be a struggle here early on as the running back pretty much walks in untouched. And it's going to be 7-0 here as Temple goes to kick it back off to UMass. We'll see if it's going to be a touchback again or if he's going to return this. The UMass is going to return this out, and he's pretty much just going to get back to where if he would just fair caught it at the 25-yard line. So starting out here, 1st and 10, they're more in a single back set under center, going to pro style, and he's going to get hit as he's thrown again as he gets that blitzer coming off the edge. Very early on, it looks like that's going to be a very tough time in this passing game as there's a nice catch there by his big tight end for this O-line that needs to be able to protect the quarterback, because if Jordan's going to get hit all day, he's not going to be able to get any accurate passes going as he's going to go back to the big tight end on that drag route. He's going to have a big gain here of about 25, and Jordan's looking pretty nice besides that one throw that ruined that first drive, but they're keeping the sticks moving quickly. They're back in this I formation under center as they're going to go stretch to the right side, and no one climbs up to that play side linebacker, so he's just going to beat him right in that hole and only gain about 2. And they're coming back out in this power, unbalanced set, as it's going to be play action here as he's going to be looking for his running back or tight end, but everything's covered, so he's just going to have to throw that one away. As they come out for 3rd and 8, this is more of a spread type look and a trips left set as Jordan's out here making adjustments. It looks like that's probably going to be cover 4, if I had to guess, from the Temple Owls. So they're going to have to look for something underneath or right behind that middle linebacker. B might have been initially open initially as he's going to get out of the pocket for the pressure, and he's just going to lose his place on the field and step out of bounds. And UMass is going to try to punt it, pin them back deep here. As on this punt, it's just going to sail into the back of the end zone, so that's going to set up the Temple Owls out on the 25. So first down coming out here for the Temple Owls. They're going to look to pretty much go up 2 scores early here. Looks like the UMass is in a pretty aggressive set, and they're just going to throw the short hitch straight at the sticks and get it out quick. Temple's quarterback's been looking pretty good here early. It looks like he's been set up for a pretty nice game. Temple just pretty much setting up the offensive line, and he's going to get a quick RPO with the slant right behind the linebacker that's falling asleep for a big gain as they're going to hurry up to the line, and they're going to switch some stuff up as they're in the hurry up. Go back to the trips right formation. Running back's getting out quick. He's covered, but then they're just going to hit the quick stick route right there and just find the open gap and keep the sticks moving there. As UMass come out, more of that aggressive look again, trying to send some pressure, try to get this quarterback rattled, but they're going to get it out quick in the RPO, and the man coverage is pretty much just going to wrap that up as they're going to get a decent 4-yard gain on that. 2nd and 6 coming up here, and they're just going to run it up the middle, and I will say, besides the touchdown rush, UMass's defense on the rush has been pretty good here. It's just mainly quick passing game that's really hurting them for Temple, and it's just going to miss a plain tackle, and he's going to get a big gain as the safety's going to have to come up, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10-yard line for the Temple Owls as they're in scoring position, and this could get ugly early. And the linebacker just misses a gap in the hole to make the play on the running back, and he cuts it back, and he's going to get an easy 10-yard rush. And they're going to have to shore some stuff up, make some adjustments, or it's going to get ugly real quick for UMass here with their backs up against the wall as they're set to get this kickoff from Temple. And they're going to have to make a big play here if they're going to want to have any chance of this game. And it's going to look ugly for Coach Hedcock if he doesn't end up doing something. As UMass and their senior quarterback, Grant Jordan, come out in a position that you do not want to be in, down 2 scores, and he's going to get his, he throws, but he has a receiver over the middle, and this is going to be a big game for UMass. This is going to be an 80 or 75-yard touchdown just about across the middle to get them back in this game and give UMass a little bit of hope. Coach Hedgecock dials that one up. Now, we still got to look at the protection because he did get hit as he thrown, but he was able to stand in there, take that hit, and deliver a great ball over the middle. As it's going to be 14-7, and they're going to look to come out and hopefully get a defensive stop as they kick this one off and to be able to get that ball back quick to keep themselves in the game. And Temple's going to receive the kickoff, and they're just going to get a quick one. Good kickoff coverage by UMass there as he only gets back to about the 20, saves them a couple yards, and Temple's going to come out 1st and 10. In their normal set, they're going to come out, pass it, simple little hitch route over the middle, gets them about 5 yards and makes it 2nd and very easy for them. As they're coming out again in that same formation, 2nd and 5, they're adjusting a little bit of the blocking scheme. They're not able to pick up the blitzing up the middle, and they're able to get that sack, and it's going to be 3rd and 11 here for the Temple Owls. This would be huge for UMass to come out here and get this stopped and get the ball back, give them a chance to come back and tie the game. We'll see if they're able to send a guy in motion. Simple little whip around the edge, and he's going to get hit as he's thrown, almost an interception, and he's going to be able to drop that ball. So UMass comes back out on 1st and 10, about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. They're coming out in that I left formation. They're going to hit an outside stretch, and he's going to get wrapped up on the tackle. Gets a little bit caught up on his lineman there. If he doesn't, he might be able to have a big gain there as we have a 2nd and 9 coming out. Jordan's obviously making his adjustments. The senior quarterback, a lot of experience, a lot of playing time, so he's going to be able to see the coverage a little bit better, and he's going to try to hit the whip route, and he just gets hit as he throws again. This offense line has to be better. There's going to have to be some recruiting that goes into this offensive line to try to get better protection. They're going to send a blitz. It's going to get picked up that time, and they're just going to hit a simple little drag over the middle, and he's going to pick up a big gain for about 15. And Jordan back in under center. It looks like they got double tight ends to the left, and they're going to try to run an outside zone, but the running back, he's able to see a simple cut right up the middle and pick up about 7. Sitting tight end in motion. Looks like they're kind of about a counter set. They have the guard pulling. He doesn't really pull very well, but the running back's able to find a gap and pick up about 5 there for a first down. About 9 seconds left in the first quarter. This is probably going to be the last play of the first quarter as we send the wide receiver in motion, pull someone out of the box, and it's going to be a big run up the middle, big hole there on that running play, all the way down to about the 7-yard line, and that's probably going to be the end of the first quarter. And as UMass starts to get a little momentum towards themselves, it was definitely shaky to start. They went down 14-0 quick, but now they're in the red zone. And we see here it's been all about the ground game for both these teams, as we have Jawan Price for UMass with about 40 yards on 9 rushes, but Temple's had that bigger play ability against UMass so far. UMass has been a little bit more of a kind of run it down your throat slowly down the field as they come out into this wishbone set, old school, as it's going to be a rollout play action, and Grant Jordan's just going to take off and be able to get in there for a UMass touchdown, and that's going to hopefully tie it up if we can make the extra point here, and it's going to put the ball game back at 14-14 and tie it all up after it looked like it was going to be a very quick blowout game and it was going to be over. And tied at 14, second play from the second quarter, Temple coming out 1st and 10. As we see here, quick throw right there off the backed up corner and get them about 7 yards. 2nd and 3 for Temple, as they're looking to regain the lead and get a good drive going, as the quarterback's going to keep it. No one's accounted for him, so he's going to get a big gain on the left side and a big quarterback run for Temple, as it's going to get them all the way down to the opponent's 30-yard line, and they're going to go straight into the hurry up and try to capitalize on that big gain, and just try to catch UMass's defense slipping, as he's just going to throw the check down in the flats. No one was really on him, and he's going to get about 14 yards on that gain here as they go down into the red zone. Hopefully they're able to be able to get a stop here and kind of tighten up on defense, as they're going to pass it again at Temple, and he has a simple drag route open. He throws it a little bit late, so that's going to hurt them there, and they're only going to pick up about 3, and it's going to be 3rd and 7. This will be a huge stop. Hopefully we'll make sure to stop him from getting a touchdown here at UMass. And he's going to throw a quick curl route, and it's going to get them the first down and get them inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. Temple coming here looking to run the ball most likely, as they're just going to run it straight up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed, and it's going to lead to 2nd goal. I will say when UMass kind of gets into these situations, they have been able to kind of tighten it up. So we'll see if Temple gets a little bit more creative to try to get in the end zone here. As they send a tight end in motion, go back, split zone, and they just get too much of a push up front. They do end up making the tackle, but it's too far into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown for Temple, as we get a high-scoring game, 21-14, already in the early second quarter. And we get a good return here from UMass, as he's going to get it all the way down to about the 35, get them 10 extra yards on their starting drive, as they come out into a very tight set with the same tight end there at the wing. Play action here. Let's see if he's able to get the time. And he's able to throw it up, but he had a little bit of pressure in his face, and he had to throw it off his back foot. So that one's going to be a little bit inaccurate. And they're going to go for a simple run up the middle, as he is able to squeeze through there, and the linemen were able to hold their blocks. So that's going to be a great run there for the 13 yards. And UMass has been able to get a little bit of a push there up front, where they end up being able to get the holes, but their pass blocking has not been great, as he's going to take down another sack, and it's going to make it difficult for him, as it's going to be 2nd and 18, as he's trying to get the protection in order, really, and he has the running back wide open. He has a step on him, but he gets hit as he throws, and he's going to get underthrown. That's another touchdown that's going to cost them. He had a clear step. If he gets the protection, that's a touchdown to tie the game, as we hear on 3rd and 18, and he's going to need to pick it up, and he gets flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to run down the sideline and actually pick that up for a nice 22-yard scramble. Grant Jordan's pretty much running for his life at this point, but he's making the best out of it as he looks like a white Michael Vick back there as they're able to run the ball again right up the middle. A simple little power play for 7 yards. They're back in the power eye to the left. 2nd and 3, they're going to try to pick this up in the run game, you would think, as they're going to run a stretch to the outside, and they're able to block that pretty well, and he's able to get up to the safety, make a guy miss, and get it down to about the 15-yard line as they're in the red zone, threatening to pretty much tie this up, and they're in an unusual, super strong eye to the left as they're looking to pretty much get in this goal line and try to convert this 3rd and 4. He tries to get someone to jump there. He's going to go for a false snap count. And he's going to snap this. It's a pitch to the left, and there's not much blocking. He's only going to get a couple yards. It's going to be 4th and 3. And Coach Hedgecock wants to be aggressive. This is the new style of football with the Dan Campbells of the world, as he's going to go for it on this 4th and 3 and try to pick this up and be able to try to get in this touchdown here. We'll see. They can get a first down just from 3 yards at about the 5-yard line, as he's going to pretty much flush out, and he's going to get that drag route to the big tight end again. And that's been one of their more successful plays, as they're in 1st and goal, and they're in a strong power out to the right, and they're going to run a stretch play, and he's going to pretty much just going to be wide open as UMass walks in for the touchdown, and they're able to tie this game up at 21 apiece at about towards the end of the 2nd quarter. Now, that was a big drive for UMass. They were able to run off a lot of clock. They were wanting to pretty much slow this down, run the ball, and run that clock here as Temple starts out with about 3 minutes left, and he's going to throw a quick slant, and he's going to get down to about 2nd and inches as they were able to pick that up. And it's going to be 1st and 10 here for Temple. They just keep moving it off those quick routes. Same thing again, quick slant right over the middle. No one's able to pick it up. UMass has got to be able to adjust at halftime and be able to pick those up. And they're going to have to make some strong coaching adjustments here on defense because they have not been able to block a soul and be able to stop a soul. And a quarterback's going to get a quarterback run. He's going to get pretty much nothing as someone has accounted for him. They're going to get an outside run here to pick up that first down and keep the drive moving, as it's going to be 1st and 10. Moving all the way to a 3rd and 11, trying to get a big stop here for the UMass defense, as they're going to throw it right over the middle, right in between the two safeties, and it looks like what it was covered to. That middle of the field was wide open, as they're going to hit a big touchdown and go 28-21. UMass here starting the drive with about a minute 40 left till halftime. They're trying to pretty much go and at least get a field goal. And he's going to try a long one here as he's able to hit him over the top as he had his step on him. And that's a big play as they're going to try to hurry up since they only have one timeout left right before halftime. And they're going to try to hit another one. He drops back the pass. He gets good pass protection, hits that drag over the middle to his young wide receiver. And he's going to get it down to about the 11-yard line as they're going to hurry up again. They can kind of slow it down here. They have plenty of time. They're going to want to run this down so Temple doesn't have a chance to be able to score with their high-powered offense. Got about a minute left, 2nd and 11. You want to make this 3rd down a little bit more manageable. As Jordan's making adjustments, he's going to snap the ball. He's going to get that simple drag right over the middle, get it down to 3rd and inches, as Temple's going to try to call a timeout to try to preserve some time. They're backing that power out of the left, and they throw a pitch, and he's going to walk into the end zone on the left side again. Now, that could have been done a little bit better. They might have left too much time for Temple here. It's 48 seconds, and Temple's actually going to block the extra point as they're going to keep the lead into the 2nd half here, as it's only going to be 28-27. They're just going to go with a simple run, try to keep the time running, as they're going to hurry up, which is a weird play call by their head coach. And they're going to go with a simple RPO bubble on the side, get about 3. It's 3rd and 4 here with 30 seconds as they call the timeout there. They need to pick this up, and UMass might be able to have a chance to get the ball back here if they're able to get a stop. And their quarterback's scrambling, and he's going to go down for a big sack on 4th and 13 as UMass selects to call a timeout. And they're going to get the ball back here. No timeouts, though, with probably about 20 seconds left after this punt return. And if they can get a big punt return here, then that's going to make a world of a difference. They don't get a huge one, and they're going to start the drive out with about 19 seconds left as they're looking to pretty much just quickly get in field goal range to try to be able to take this lead. And he's going to have a lot of time here. He's going to hit an in route right over the middle, get across the 50-yard line. The clock does stop for a second as they're able to get one play off, and it's going to be a big Hail Mary, and we'll see. And he's not able to catch that, and it's going to be batted away as we go into halftime. After a high-scoring first half, it's Temple Owls 28, UMass 27, and the story of the game has been the rushing attack for the UMass Minutemen. Temple's been a lot more high-powered, big-play offense, very quick routes over the middle that their quarterback's been able to pretty much get right away. We'll see if Temple or UMass is able to come out here and adjust to that. If Temple can stop the run, UMass can stop the short, quick passing routes, then this is going to be a very different game as Temple's going to start out here in the second half with the ball, 1st and 10. As they don't get a very good return. The UMass coverage has been very good on the kickoffs, and that's just going to be a simple bubble route as it's not going to get anywhere off the RPO, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 here for the Temple Owls. And they're going to send some pressure here, and he's going to hit the big tight end over the middle for about a 15-yard gain. Those quick routes, those quick slants right over the middle has been killing UMass all day. We'll see what they can do here as they come out in an empty formation for the first time of this game. And he's just going to throw a quick little stick route right there, find the open space to the running back, get about 6. That's its 2nd and 4 here. And it's going to be a quick RPO, and he's going to throw a pick off a bad read. This is going to be the first turnover for Temple, and UMass is going to get a key interception to hopefully try to change the momentum of this game. That's the first turnover of the season that UMass has forced, and you're going to see here the turnover power hat as they come off the field for the Minutemen, and this is going to be a huge momentum breaker. Hopefully this offense is able to come out here and be able to capitalize on that. Dean Schaefer, the Mike linebacker, number 52, gets his first interception of the season. Hopefully there's more to come as UMass is going to be able to come out here and try to capitalize on that. He's going to send a running back in motion as he's going to go with a simple zone up the middle as they're going to be able to – he makes a guy miss, or he's going to get about 15 yards on that, and they're almost already in the red zone. And 2nd and 6 here. Jordan coming up, trying to see the play, trying to see what would be the best adjustment as they're going to hit a trap up the middle, and there's not going to be anything going for the running back, Jawan Price. 3rd and 8. This is going to be a big 3rd and 8 here as they're going to look to pretty much capitalize, try to keep this drive going, and they need to be able to get more in field goal range. We don't really necessarily have the best kicker, and he's going to get hit as he's thrown. 4th and 8 here, and this is going to be a 43-yard field goal attempt. He's got it lined up, and he's going to kick it. They almost block it, and it's going to hit the post and miss, but there is a flag down on the play. You would assume this would be roughing the kicker on Temple, and it is, so that's going to give UMass a big first down. First big mistake by Temple on the defensive side of the ball. And this is going to set them up inside the 15 on 1st and 10. As they're going to run it up the middle, and he's going to cut it back and get a nice gain of 4. Nice little run play back in that power out to the left formation that they have that they've loved to go through in the red zone and in the short yardage formation as they're lining up waiting. And they're going to hit the stretch to the left side, and it's going to be blocked beautifully. It's only going to be him, the safety, as he's going to be stopped short on the 1-yard line. And they're going back to it to the power out to the right, and they're going to try to rush this in for a touchdown from the 1-yard line. And they hit a play action. It's a nice little rollout, and it's covered beautifully by Temple, and he's going to have to throw that one away. Live to play another down. They're going to try to run up, tray up the middle, and they're going to be stuffed. They don't have the big guys there on the offensive line, and they try to get them to jump off sides on 3rd and goal. So this is going to back them up even more. You got to think about the risk-reward there because if you get the jump, you only get about an inch, and if your guys jump off sides, you get backed up all the way to the 6-yard line here as they're going to pass it on 3rd and goal, and he's going to get hit as he's thrown. Once again, that's going to be incomplete. So after all that, after the 1st and 10, they're roughing the kicker. They're just going to have to settle for a field goal and take the lead 30-28. So 1st and 10 here for the Temple Owls midway through the 3rd quarter as they're going to get back to the running game and pick up a nice gain there of about 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Moving on, 3rd and 5. Temple's looking to move the drive here. If UMass can get a stop, this is going to be huge for them to try to extend their lead and get real momentum as the quarterback's going to keep it. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage as UMass has been able to counter that ever since the first big quarterback run. And they're going to force a punt here. Not a very good one. It's kind of short. And UMass doesn't call for the fair catch as they're going to get it down to almost midfield. They're going to come out into I left here and try to get the run game going as they go into a power. And there's a hole there, but Price just gets caught up on his tackle again and just can't get through there as it's just forced to a 2nd and 9 after only a 1-yard gain. He could have got it out to his tight end there, but he's going to scramble again, Jordan, and get about 4 yards as it's a big 3rd and 5 as they look to run a little bit more clock here and hopefully extend their lead back into the out left formation. As they're going to run a stretch, and he's got some space. He's one-on-one with the safety as they get about down to the 30-yard line, and they're going to keep on extending this drive, hopefully able to extend that lead as well. They're more out into that spread formation again here as they're going to run the route. He is wide open. He's going to hit him. He's going to stop his feet, and he's going to have a step on him. That's going to be a touchdown for UMass as they extend their lead here to about 9 points. Ever since that blocked field goal, it would be a 10-point lead, but that key blocked field goal by Temple keeps it only to 9. So Temple down 2 possessions. They're coming out. They're going to run the ball here, and there's not going to be much for him as he just gets back to the line of scrimmage as he dances around. Temple's going to have to do something. All the momentum's on UMass's side. They've pretty much gone 20 unanswered here as they drop back to throw, and it's just going to be a simple curl on a big 3rd and 4 to be able to move the sticks. Coming back here on 1st and 10. Temple's quarterback has been very good today besides that one pick, and he just throws it short again. It's those simple checkdowns. It's almost as if UMass, Coach Hitchcock's just not confident in his athletes out there in the secondary, that he just plays everybody back and allows them to pretty much get the underneath stuff to be able to move the sticks. So at that point, the quarterback's just getting in a rhythm, and he's able to pretty much just hit those over and over again and just keep moving the sticks at will. 1st and 10 here. Another quick slant to the receiver that's going to result in about 15 yards and a 1st down. About a minute left here in the 3rd quarter as they're going to hand it off here. And there's not going to be much for him as he's going to lose 2 on that run. UMass's defense on the run game side has been very stout as he sends a running back in motion. And quarterback dropbacks a pass, and he's just going to hit his tight end over the middle. That has been abusing those linebackers all day. 3rd and 1 here. The quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to be gone. No one accounts for the quarterback on that one as UMass brings the blitz, and he's going to get a simple, easy, untouched 40-yard rush as they bring it back into 2, 37-35, 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter as UMass has the ball here. They're just going to simply run it up the middle. Not much for him, about 4 yards as he does clip Jawan Price 100 yards on the day rushing, and UMass, it's the tail of the quarterbacks. Grant Jordan has 297, but only a 50% completion. Ryan Sims has a 92% completion rate, and it's just he only has about 2 incompletions. They're going to have to get some pressure on this Temple quarterback if they want to have a chance to win, or just not put it in his hands at the end of the game. Big 3rd down and 6 as UMass is going to try to look to extend their drive, send the running back in motion. And he's going to pretty much get hit as he's thrown as Temple brings the pressure. And the offensive line has not done Grant Jordan any favors here today in that pass protection. Temple coming back out. Simple stick route to the tight end. Picks up about 4 as they're looking to come down and take the lead for the second time. Almost first time in the second half ever since UMass took it back as they're going to simply get a 13-yard gain off a simple little out route. They run power with the RPO read as they hit the slant there for about 8 yards as it's going to be 2nd and 2. About 8:30 left in this 4th quarter, and they're going to just hit the RPO again. That's been their bread and butter all day. Why go away from it? They're just going to keep RPO and UMass to death as they audible here, and they're in the hurry up, trying to hurry up and try to get this lead, move the sticks going, as they're going to hit a simple little drag route to the tight end again. 3rd and 5 here. This will be huge for UMass as they're going to run it, have them behind the line of scrimmage, and they're going to stop them on 4th and 5 as Temple's going to elect to kick the field goal. This is going to be about a 43-yard field goal, and they're not going to hit them. And it's going to hit the post but bounce in as Temple gets the favorable bounce as they have for most of the game. It's just not been UMass's day for a lot of the bounces just have not been going their way at all as they come out with a run. 2nd and 7 on the 3rd and 7 as they look to pretty much try to keep this drive going. Down by 1 in the 4th quarter, about 7 minutes left to go. This is going to be big as they have not been able to get a stop defensively. So if they give the ball back to Temple, they could be down by a lot more. Grant Jordan going to get hit as he throws, and that one's going to be incomplete. There's going to have to be something done with this offensive line as they give Temple the ball back on a punt play. 7 minutes left, starting the drive. 1st and 10. They're just going to hand it off. Not much for the running back as it's going to be 2nd and 11 here. Temple up by 1. They just run a simple trap play. And the blocks are just going to open up like the Red Sea, and that's going to give them the first down here as they're looking to run some clock in this close game and try to get out here with the win. Quarterback's going to get out, and no one's accounted for him. The cornerback just misses him, and he's going to pick up another big first down. That quarterback run was in check for most of the day, but it's really become an issue on certain points of this game as they run another quick slant against this UMass defense. It's been the same stuff all day. There hasn't been very many adjustments coaching-wise by Coach Hedgecock, and he needs to do a better job of making these in-game adjustments as they're going to bring some pressure, and the tight end's going to be wide open. That's going to get them inside the 10-yard line. As they're starting to threaten, this would only put them up by 8 points if they are able to score touchdowns, so UMass would still have a chance to go down and tie the ball game, but they really need to be able to get a stop as the tight end's going to hit over the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Temple Owls as they're going to take a 8-point lead over your UMass Minutemen as they come out. In this 1st and 10, there's still plenty of time left, but you're really starting to think about how much of a chance. And Grant Jordan's going to throw his second interception of the game, and that's going to give Temple all the momentum in the game as they have it about to the 35. Throw another quick slant immediately. Get a big gain as he has 322 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ryan Smith, the quarterback for Temple, throws another RPO bubble, and he's just going to break a tackle and then get a spin move, making the whole secondary look silly as they're going to go in for another touchdown and go up by 15 points. About 5 minutes left, down 15. UMass has the ball. They're going to have to score quick, and he's going to get hit as he's thrown as another cornerback blitz comes in and hits Grant Jordan in the backfield. 2nd and 10, running back in motion. They're going to hit the big tight end over the middle, and he's going to get a big gain here all the way down to about midfield, and they're going to try to hurry this up because they need to score quick. 5:10 left, down 2 possessions. Going to have to make a big play here as he's going to lob it up on the outside to his receiver, and that's going to be well played by the defender, and it's going to be incomplete. Now to a 3rd and 10. You just got to think about keeping the sticks moving. Forget the 2-possession lead. You just got to do this one drive at a time as he has a simple drag route in the middle, but he tries to hit the tight end into triple coverage, and that's just not going to be it. Big 4th and 10. You have to think that this is pretty much for the game if they don't convert this and try to go to the tight end again, and that's just going to be incomplete. And this is not looking very good for UMass unless they get a big turnover here against Temple. 1st and 10. Simple stick route again. Same thing they've been doing all game. Brian Smith has been on it. He has about 92% completion percentage right now. Has barely had any incompletions as they throw slants again, but he goes to the flats to the tight end. He makes a guy miss, and it's going to be a first down as they get a big play there. 3rd and 9. This is going to be huge. They're right outside of field goal range. UMass needs a stop desperately as they throw the simple screen RPO, and it's going to be 4th and 6. They get a couple yards to push them into field goal range. This is going to be about a 49-yard field goal. This is not easy in college, especially at this MAC level, but he's going to drill it right down the middle to give them an 18-point lead. UMass, this is almost pretty much out of reach at this point, but they really need to go down. And he's going to get hit instantly in his drop back and get brought down for a sack, and that's going to result in it's going to be a 3rd and 19. There's not much you can do whenever you don't get the protection, and he's going to hold on to the ball too long and have to get rid of it as he's thrown away. And they're actually going to just elect to punt it instead of giving Temple better field position, and they're going to run it up the middle. Only get back to about the line of scrimmage. You desperately need a turnover here if you're UMass, if you even want a chance in this game. It's a 3-possession game. And they're going to get a big run to the outside by Temple down to the 30-yard line. And this one's pretty much over. It's about 1:20 left. UMass has all 3 of their timeouts. They're not taking them. You would think Temple would just kneel out the ball, but no, they're still throwing it, trying to get down to the 2-yard line. They're looking to run up the score against UMass and make a statement to the nation about how good they are. And just send a statement to Coach Donovan Hedgecock as the running back's going to make 3 guys miss, and he's going to get into the touchdown instead of taking a knee as UMass is going to get this ball back as they have given up 62 points to this Temple Owls team. And The schedule does not get easier from here, so they're definitely going to have to make a change defensively, and they're going to find a receiver. He floats it a little bit too much, and that's going to be the third interception on the day for Grant Jordan. With about 20 seconds left, they're down by 25. UMass is running the ball. They're still not kneeing it out. Still running up the clock about 20 yards, and that's going to end it in Coach Hedgecock's debut as the UMass Minutemen lose to the Temple Owls 62-7. 62-27, as they've given up 27 unanswered fourth quarter points, as it was pretty close there. UMass had the lead at the start of the fourth quarter, but Temple just pretty much put on an extra gear to pretty much end that one out, to establish how dominant of a team that they really are for the American Conference over the MAC. And it's going to be a long road ahead for UMass, as they're going to have to go out and recruit and get some of these better players. Definitely going to have to work on that offensive line. That pretty much led to Grant Jordan being hit constantly. He was almost out of the game at one point with how much he was getting hit. Here's some of the stats. As you look, Grant Jordan had a pretty good day until he had to start forcing it whenever he went down in the game. So he had to start forcing it, and he ended up throwing about 3 interceptions. Jawan Price ended up getting about 100 yards, our leading running back. Grant Jordan also ended up doing pretty well. Defensively, we just need to do better. We need to be able to get stops. The biggest issue was the defense not getting stops and the offensive line not being able to protect Grant Jordan. And we just have to be able to get pressure. Temple's quarterback Evan Simon was able to pretty much go and just destroy the defense for the UMass, because he was getting no pressure whatsoever, and he was able to pretty much just go back there and cook all day, deal the ball out for a 92% completion percentage on the game. That's pretty much unheard of. So speaking of recruits, these are about the recruiting board that we have going on here. Obviously, we're focused on both tackles, the offensive line, different guys here. The big one is the quarterback at the very top. He's a 3-star gem. He could come in and play almost immediately after Grant Jordan leaves. But next week, we are going to be taking on FCS East. If you're excited for the series, please make sure to like the video. Comment down below any thoughts that you have, any suggestions that you have for the series. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.